So like many people, my opinion is developing over time. It's happening really, really quick. I think it's fun to play around with. I think it is remarkably inaccurate as well. So I think if people were to rely on it for fact gathering or even compilation, that would be dangerous because the inaccuracies are just so egregious. We as journalists need to experiment with any form of AI that comes out, not just Chat GPT, not just the kind of story writing things. But there are always going to be new innovations, and we need to be figuring out ways to use them. Sitting here today, I don't know exactly what that perfect way is, but I trust in my students to figure those things out. I think that if I ask students to go, find the way that you can use this in a story, I think they would. If a student were to be given an assignment and be told it needs to be written in this specific way about this specific thing, and then they go off and write it, and then they put the same information into Chat GPT, and then have a good dialogue with themselves or with a professional, whether a professor or someone else, another student, to look at how those two things came out, then I think that would be really interesting. I think that's something, and we could critique what it is that's working in Chat GPT in forms of news writing and what's not. Journalism 200 is a massive class. It's got 220 students. It's all online. I do videos. I don't really interact with the students that much though, but I have 14 TAs. I have, for the first time this semester, started using Turnitin, which is an option for teachers on Canvas. Turnitin is this service that will do a cross-check of the information in your story with everything on the web, database of all stories that have been turned in previously, and will let you know what level of it is plagiarized. It's tough though, because the thing about AI detection is it's unlike plagiarism, right? Like plagiarism, you can go find the other words, and here is the story that was written in 2009 that you just copied and pasted and changed, whatever, Rockford to Champagne, right? AI, a person really could write it that way. As a teacher, you want students to be getting the education they are paying for and that they deserve, and you don't want them to cheat, but there's only so much you can police as well. And I think AI is going to make it more and more difficult, especially as AI gets better. So if we look short term, I think you're going to have Chat GPT giving us, or any form of AI, it's going to be doing smaller tasks for reporters. So game recaps, obituaries, possibly meeting stories, right? Things that have always been the bread and butter of entry-level reporters in particular. And I think that's concerning. So I'm looking forward to how younger people are going to pick up these tools and move ahead with them. And I am hoping that older people, myself and older, that people who are in those positions don't hope it's a passing fad. There was a time where people thought websites were going to be a passing fad, where social media was going to be a passing fad, and that print newspapers would exist forever, right? No one can be thinking that way about AI. It's here, it's going to change things this month, this year, this decade, and everyone, not just Gen Z or younger, needs to really be on top of it so it doesn't get abused, and so it's used well.